We are trying to figure out who the best top dressers of all time are in the game of golf. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Riley.
And we are the Golf Style Guys. And today we are going to be breaking down the top 5 best players of all time. And this took some digging, Ryan. This took some real digging because we couldn't separate, the old from the new, and now the new looks all the same. So this is going to be hard. So what we're going to be looking for here, we're going to be looking for color schemes, style, and who just wore it better, So we'll get to Instagram in a second because we had that last spot open, but let's just kick it off right away. Top number 1 dresser for me of all time has to be Arnold Palmer. God rest his soul. The pink, the cardigan, statement player for golf as far as fashion goes, and now we're starting to see more and more people bring it back. We saw Ricky give him a tribute at the Arnold Palmer last year, rocking the pink cardigan. What's your take on Arnold Palmer taking the first spot?
I love Arnold Palmer. He's probably top 3 favorite golfers of mine of all time, and he has a style that's he was like the first cool golfer. Like, he made golf cool, not only by his personality, but with his style. The cardigan was sick. He had the polo, and he just always looked so good. And his color schemes were crazy because he was never afraid to wear certain colors. He would wear pretty much whatever, which was kind of the best part. The Arnold Palmer trophy, if you want to call it that. I mean, they have a trophy, but they also give the winner a cardigan, which I think is sick, the red cardigan. But Arnie just looked always just so good.
Yeah, for sure. And absolutely, like I said, you'll see more and more players rocking his stuff, Puma paying tribute to him with the cardigan and stuff like that. So I'm a big believer that history will always repeat itself. So we'll see that style coming back more and more on tour as years go on.
For sure, especially at the they do a good job at the Open. I mean, JT wore cardigan at the Open. Of course, when they get to Bay Hill, there's tributes all the time. But I like the cardigan look, actually. I've done it a couple times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, who takes the number 2?
I like, just because it's funky, man. And I like Payne Stewart.
Yeah.
He had the hat. I'm kind of indifferent about the hat. I'm not a big Bryson guy, so I've hated the hat recently. But the pants he used to wear with the long socks, the patterned socks, it was just funky, and he just looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a unique style that he brought to the game. And maybe till this day, he was probably one of the last ones to wear knickers on the golf course, and he wore it every day. And by then, that style had been out. It was out already for a couple of years. No one's really rocking knickers, and then here comes Payne Stewart rocking them with no problem. Doesn't really care who's watching him, who's looking at him. He knows this is how he feels comfortable, and this is how he's gonna play it. If you don't like it, so be it. Move on to the next player. But you know what I mean? Like, he loved his style, and I love that he was so confident about rocking that style.
Yeah, and I think when the U.S. Open was at Pinehurst, I believe it was 2014. Ricky wore some, yes. And we'll put the picture up. But he actually looks pretty good. He looks good. Yeah. But yeah, Payne Stewart, everything was just unique. He didn't really care what anybody thought about what he was wearing, and his outfit when he won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst is sick. He's rocking the vest with the knickers. It's just so. Oh my God, it's fire.
That's where they have the tribute statue of him at Pine.
Yep. The fist pump trophy, or the statue, yeah.
Yeah, it's sick stuff. I always liked how his colors were loud. He was like the Ricky before Ricky. He always wore loud colors. He never really matched. Always in like red with the navy blue pants or something like that. But it was just a unique style that really no one else was doing. And when you think knickers, you think Payne Stewart.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Sebby Ballisteros. He just was a different man. He was like one of the first golfers on tour to not even wear a hat while playing around. He was rocking not necessarily, because Arnie wasn't wearing a hat either, and those guys back in the day. But, he wasn't wearing a hat in modern era at the time. He was always wearing the collared shirt with the full sweaters, not the zip-ups. He was always wearing the full sweaters underneath. Those loud boot-cut pants on the bottom with some classic foot joists. That was his style, and I love it, and I think it's a statement up into this day in golf.
Yeah, I love the sweater collared shirt look. And his collars were huge, and I'm sure we'll put up pictures. His collars were huge, and they were just so profound over the sweater that it was just such a unique look to him. And I honestly I like the no hat. Yeah. There's a couple guys on the Euro Tour that do the no hat, and of course Arnie didn't do it either. But he just had such classy style, like you said, the full sweater, no hat. He just always looked good on the golf course.
He definitely did. And to me, when I look at someone like Sebby and I look at pictures from back then, It almost reminds me of, it was like a lifestyle for him. It was a lifestyle type of fitting. He really didn't fawn about having sponsors all over the chest or having people outfit him. It was his clothes. It was what he was wearing back then. It's what he looked good, what he felt he looked good. And he just went with it.
Yeah, he was doing his own thing, and it paid off because, again, he's one of the style icons of golf.
Absolutely.
Ever.
And then, of course, I've posted the pictures a whole bunch of times on Golficity. Is that famous picture on the golf course, on the golf range, where he's wearing those really, really short shorts with dress shoes and like a t-shirt. I'll throw it up here.
He was doing his thing, man. He was doing his thing, and he didn't care what anybody thought about it. And that's what made Sebby.
That was the trend back then too. Is nowadays I feel like the players get so caught up in what people think they're going to be wearing and what people think they're going to say. Like back then, they didn't care at all.
Did not care at all. They wore whatever they wanted to, and it was they did not care.
Yeah,
no mind to it.
They literally wore whatever they want because. But now, like me 10 years ago, I'd be like, what is he wearing? But now I can appreciate it and feel like, okay, he was making a statement. He was doing this. He was comfortable. This is how he felt. This is how he performed better. Nowadays, it's like, oh, what am I going to wear for the Masters Championship? Because I don't want people ragging on me on social media.
Right. Yeah, back then with no social media, it's just like he's not going to hear any of that, so why not wear what he wants to?
Number 4, let's kick it to current. It gets a little tricky because, like you said before, they all look the same. They're all getting outfitted by the same people, all same style. Everyone's wearing Adidas, everyone's wearing Nike, everyone's wearing this, that, and the other thing. So it's hard to pick one out. I'm going to go with one, you go with one, and then we'll try to close in on the 4th spot. My number 4 best dress of all time is going to be Eric Van Rooyen.
Yeah, and I like that pick because I've said it on the show multiple times with all the clothes companies, they don't do scripts every week. Obviously, that's majors and other big tournaments. But it's just so hard to have a unique style now where you have to wear that brand. Like Nike shirts all look the same, like Paul Casey down to Brooks Koepka. They all dress the same because they're very limited on what they can actually wear. Right. Same thing with all the Adidas guys. They look exactly the same. When Jon Rahm was with Adidas, he dressed just like Dustin Johnson. They all look exactly the same. Yeah. So with Eric, he's a little bit different because he's Grayson, and that's unique on tour. They're not like a huge company. And then he brings the joggers in. He brings other unique things like the hoodies, very a hoodie guy. So I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, and I like what he's doing for golf. He's molding the game. Just like when Tiger came in and it was molding the game of what he wore, he's now coming in, wearing his joggers, rocking the tight fit sleeve, the sweater on top, the hoodie. I just love change. If you're someone who's not subject to change, you probably won't like this pick for number 4, but I like this pick a lot because it is a statement at the end. It's a fashion statement. Fashion is always evolving, whether it's golf, anything, basketball, any sport, any lifestyle. Fashion's always evolving, and I love what he's doing for the game of golf.
Yeah, and mine, just because he's my boy, and I just ragged on him that he's a Nike guy, but I think Roars has a very good style. He's always very simple, but his color coordination, especially when they're not on scripted weeks, is always very, very good. Absolutely. He does tributes to Arnie. Like I think it was 2 years ago, he did an Arnie fit. He collaborates with Nike and does very unique shoes with the Victory Tours, and I think he just has very solid style.
Yeah, see what he was rocking this weekend in Abu Dhabi? He's rocking like a pinkish red. I've never seen him in that color.
Yeah, no, he looks good. So I think he works with the brand. Obviously, he has to wear Nike, but with all the clothes that he has, he does a very good job of putting it together for the course.
Absolutely. So when it comes to number 5, I'm going to have to throw in, it pains me because he got hurt last week, I'm going to have to throw in Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I think so too. JT looked good when he was with Polo. Who knows where he's going to go? We talked about that, obviously, on the show. I think he was wearing unmarked Peter Millar stuff in Abu Dhabi for at least a couple practice rounds. But yeah, he looked very, very good. I love his FootJoys are also just so classic. And then Polo does a great job of outfitting their guys. So I agree. Justin Thomas was definitely up there.
Used to do a great job of outfitting their guys.
Used to. Yeah.
No, I like Justin Thomas because I like the color scheme he brings to the game. I like his style is a little bit different, but it's not that far off from everyone else. But I think if you were to put a line of the current golfers right now, he would stick out the most because, number one, he's rocking something different, and his just patterns are just different. So anything that sticks out to me different-wise from what everyone else is doing, I tend to love it.
Yeah, especially, like I said, in a world where everybody dresses the same, it's hard hard to pick out the needle, but JT is definitely one of those guys that stands out from everybody else.
Absolutely. That's our top 5. Let us know what your top 5 is down below in the comments. We'll run through it again. We got Arnold Palmer up at top spot at number 1. We got Payne Stewart at number 2. Sebby Ballisteros at number 3. Eric Van Rooyen / Roy McIlroy at number 4. And Justin Thomas at number 5. So let us know. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we drop a video. And thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.